So I thought, okay, for now, why don't I try CCI? But at that time, like, there was a lot of stuff I was doing in school. I was on my second semester and I was busy with work and other projects, but I decided to do a little bit more research on Monster by Mistake because one of the projects that we had, one of the final projects, was we had to do a soft news and a hard news story for our chronicle. And I decided, I'll try Monster by Mistake one more time. What I ended up doing for the former assignment where I contacted Mark Meyerson was I interviewed one of the animation teachers at my school to talk about if they should go to the college I go to or Sheridan, the differences between them and the similarities. But I came across this website called Kidscreen, and I found an article from 2010. And what it said was that CCI had partnered up with Kidsco. And if you don't know, Kidsco was an Australian entertainment company. And the reason that I knew that way beforehand is because there's a commercial for Monster by Mistake on YouTube right now, and it's Australian, and it includes lost footage of Monster by Mistake. But the reason that I didn't think of it further was because when I looked up Kidsco, it said that they went out of business in early 2014, shortly before I began looking for the cartoon. But my point is, I was always worried that CCI or 9 Story Media Group didn't archive this series and let it just fall. But this article was proof that CCI had the cartoon from at least 2010. So that got me very hopeful. I was worried that it finished in like 2007 or maybe even 2004. I thought maybe they had destroyed all of their archives back then, but 2010 was a lot more recent. So who knows? This gave me a lot more hope that that Monster by Mistake was not lost media. So I finished my first year of college about a month ago. And then I decided, now I can focus fully on Monster by Mistake. So I emailed CCI. And then I left a message on the receptionist's voicemail. And don't judge me if you can. I was still a bit of an introvert, but this time I was not going to refrain from using the telephone. I was just going to do email and voice message first. So I actually got a reply about 2 days later after my messages, and what I said was that I wanted to talk to Arnie Zapersky. And Arnie Zapersky is the executive producer of CCI at the moment, and he was also an executive producer of Monster by Mistake. And you just have to look at the theme song to know that. So what the receptionist named Marley said was that Arnie wasn't in the country at the moment, but if I had concerns about one of his projects, then she could let him know. So I thought, yes, that's a lot better than what 9 Story said. So I immediately did. But I didn't hear back for a while, so I decided I'll give them a week or a week and a half, and then I'll give them a proper phone call during business hours. But then, 6 days after I got the email from Marley, Marley replied back. And I've got some news for you. And I hope you take this lightly. She said that what she meant by Arnie, she said in her last email that Arnie was not available for meetings, but what she said was he wasn't in the country at the moment, but that's not the point. She wrote that Monster by Mistake was actually no longer owned by CCI, and that now it's owned by 9 Story Media Group. They also said that CCI didn't save any files, but if they did, she would have sent some to me. But before you moan and cry, as I almost did, what she said next was that she wouldn't say that Monster by Mistake is lost forever. I don't know where she got that judgment, but she's professional. I trust her word. So I thought, okay, this is the final step. I have to contact 9 Story Media Group and I have to get an appointment with someone over there. I left a message at 9 Story Media Group almost right after, and I didn't get an automatic response after 2 days. And I even just then sent a message to 9 Story Reception where I originally spoke to Randy, And I never got a reply from that email. I don't know why, but, or actually maybe I do. Because, here's where it gets very, very interesting. I then decided to phone them, finally phone them. And I decided to record it for extra measures. What I asked was to have an appointment with Cahal Gafni. I had looked up 9 Story Media Group's team, and I was looking over everyone I could find and decide who would be best to talk to about something like this. And I chose Cahal Gafni because even though he wasn't working at 9 Story Media Group for so long, he was the chief operating officer, and he was in charge of all sorts of stuff technological. So I thought if I'm talking about archives, then he would be good for that. So I called, and this is what happened.
Good afternoon.
Hi. I was wondering if I could schedule a few minutes to talk with Cahal Gafni next Wednesday.
Fortunately, I'm sorry, where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm calling from Lindsay, Ontario. Did I dial 9 Story Media Group?
Yes, you did.
Okay, sorry, yes. I'm 18 years old and I have some questions about one of the shows that 9 Story is in charge of. It's very important.
Yeah. Unfortunately, how it works is you have to email us your request at info@9story.com.
Okay. I've emailed info@9story.com in the past. But if you want me to email again, I can.
Unfortunately, that's how it works. We forward your email to the correct person that handles that, and if they have the time, they'll contact you.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
That's not very encouraging, is it?
Yeah, I know. It was the same info@9story.com that I had once upon a time sent an email to and never got back from. So I was bummed out for a while, but then I immediately went on my computer and sent an email to info@9story.com thinking this phone call would grab their attention. But it didn't. So I decided, you know what, I wimped out on that. I was going to finish up this video with that. I intended to make this video like a week ago, in fact. But I decided, no, I was a weakling to all of you guys. I have to be a bit more aggressive. So I decided to phone them again. And this time with a question that was one of my main concerns because Toronto's like a 2-hour drive from my house. So, and in order to get there, well, imagine if they kicked me out, I wouldn't want that. So I asked them if I'm allowed to come in and take a listen.
Good afternoon.
Hi. I was wondering if 9 Story Media Group allows people to come in during work hours if they have something they wanted to ask.
No, unfortunately, no. We don't offer entries or tours, unfortunately, because we're really busy all the time. That's why.
Okay. So.
If you want to answer any questions or request something, you can just email us at info@9story.com. And so that at the moment they reply to you.
Okay, because I sent an email to info@9story.com last Wednesday and no one replied to me.
It might take a while, sir. We're really busy here, and we have to we're a big company. We have to figure out who will be able to answer your questions. So it gets sent to our HR department, and it's up to them to decide who should reply to you. But we're really busy here, that's why.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know.
Just a matter of just gotta be patient, unfortunately.
Okay. Bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, this is quite a farce, isn't it? So, someone apparently looks at all the emails and decides which one is important, and when it came to mine, they decided to just not reply. No matter how many messages I sent or to the receptionist, to info, to anything. So, and if they're not going to let me come in personally, it's kind of like they're guarding Monster by mistake, like they want to keep it locked up away. I know that that's not their intention, and I'm sorry if I'm painting 9 Story Media Group in a bad light, but they are the last step to me discovering this cartoon, and I've looked for it for 3 years. And I know that you guys have waited very impatiently for me to find this cartoon again, so I feel like now I might need a bit more help to find it, or hopefully if someone from 9 Story Media Group sees this video, then I would love to get in contact with them. Now, before I finish this video, I wanted to point a few other things out, like what we should do. So, let's say that Monster by Mistake is kind of lost forever. I know that not all of the episodes are gone, of course, but imagine if most of them are. CatapultProductions.com is a website that is still running and currently has a lot of different information about the Monster by Mistake episodes, and including a lot of helpful pictures, and I've learned a lot from them. I've even learned who the original owner of the jewel is. His name is Thrimlek. And I know that Ella, it was voiced by Judy Marshak, who is a ghost. Ella was a ghost that was meeting Johnny, and ironically, she's the same actress that voiced Mad Margaret in Erky Perky, but the point is, we have a lot of information at our disposal about what the episodes were like, and I know a lot about most of the characters now. In fact, now I know quite a lot about the cartoons. I know that Susan is a girl who likes to say a lot of 4-syllable words, and I know that Miranda, who we only see in Monster on Purpose briefly, is apparently very smart. She built a robot to try to catch the monster in one episode, and says her brain weighs like 8 pounds. And I know that Season 3 focuses more on the missing pages from the Book of Spells, and I know that because there's descriptions in CatapultProductions.com that involves like Gargoyle and Morgul fighting over them. So I know that there are some cartoons right now that are being rebooted that are going off badly to some of the audience, but why don't we try to focus? Why don't we set up something to try to convince someone to reboot Monster by Mistake? Whether or not it's in 3D or 2D, I feel like we deserve to have this cartoon back, one way or another. And also, just if it's lost forever, and who knows, even if it isn't lost forever and we end up finding all of the 52 episodes, like, maybe we can one day get more. And one thing I wanted to mention about the Portuguese episodes is I did some research just today about them, and I found something very interesting. I think I know how this YouTuber Ian Kelly came across these episodes, through Portuguese DVDs. Like this one, for example. In Portuguese, right now that says Pizza Day and Thin Ice. So I looked up all the other Monster by Mistake DVDs that came out in Portugal. And I actually have a list of all of the episodes that each of the DVDs have. So if we can get access to these DVDs, and in which they should be in English because that one was, then we're probably not gonna be able to find all of them. In fact, from what I've found, there are some episodes that we've already found, and some episodes that I would say could be from Season 2, but, and 1 or 2 episodes from Season 3, but, I'll make another video tomorrow about this list so we can discuss it. But also, I feel like we're very close to uncovering the final truth about Monster by Mistake. And we won't stand for 9 Story Media Group just pushing us away. So for 3 years, this cartoon has been my personal treasure hunt. And it's coming to a close soon, but I need help. And all throughout me looking for it, I've been tossed from wall to wall trying to look for it. And it's taken time. I've grown up around it. This cartoon has changed my life. Mark Meyerson has admitted that this cartoon didn't change his life, but it changed mine. So let's all work together to make sure that we find this cartoon, find out what happened to it, and get as many episodes as we can, and if we can, we'll reboot the franchise and give the world back what they deserve. Thank you for watching. and I hope that we can find it. Cross your fingers that we find the rest of this cartoon once and for all.
I'm a monster by mistake.